have you now, wizard. You are helpless.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Your hands are bound. You cannot even wiggle your fingers. You have no spell components. You have no arcane focus. What can you possibly do?
I wish you were a fish. Well, he didn't see that one coming. Let's talk about 5th edition wizard spells that can kill you with words.
Welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds, I'm Nerdarchy's Dave, and as always, I'm hanging out with this nerd.
Nerdarchy's Ted.
Hey, maybe it's your first time hanging out in Ted's basement. It's a place where we like to discuss news, views, and homebrews for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. Sometimes we even talk about other role-playing games.
So if you don't want to miss a single video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and attune to that notification bell.
Alright, so we had this idea where we wanted to talk about 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons wizard spells specifically, but all spells you kind of do the same thing with regardless of the character class. And that is the idea that each spell is made up of 3 different casting components: verbal, somatic, material, and in different combinations. Sometimes you need one of them, sometimes you need all of them, or just 2 of them. So we decided to just focus in on the verbal spellcasting components this time.
Now, it's really cool to be able to have spells that you can just say something and have a magical effect happen. You don't have to wiggle your fingers, you don't have to pull out a focus, you don't have to pull out, some kind of material component. Doing all of this, would be pretty interesting. And as you kind of saw in our, humorous or not humorous, depending upon your opinions, opening, to be able to just say something and have a magical effect happen. And when we started looking through, we wound up finding that there's actually quite a large number of 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons spells that only have verbal components.
Yeah, and also another area that it's worth mentioning as well, whenever we've read novels or stories, what do they always do to disable the wizard? They want to break their fingers, smash their hands, bind them, tie them up, maybe even permanently disfigure them so they keep them from spellcasting. So this is also an area where if you wanted to create a character possibly with a disability, you could kind of cherry pick the spell list in order to do that and be like, well, you know what? I had this limiting factor to my character, but what can I still do? So that's another area where you could take this same discussion and utilize it in your game.
So we found 23 spells, 2 of which are cantrips, spread out amongst all of the spells that are in there. But before we get into that, I think it's time to pay some homage to the sponsor for this video.
Absolutely. We want to thank Frog God Games for sponsoring this video. Right now, they have a Kickstarter going on.
They have a Kickstarter going on for the World of Lost Lands. It is a really great Kickstarter. Frog God is known for making these massive tomes of information that you can play for hours and hours and months, if not years and years. So this one has some elements of a lot of different books that are out there. You've got The Blight, you've got Stonehaven, you've got Rappahannock, lots of great stuff that is going into this World of Lost Lands.
Yeah, it is actually 42 years in the making. They've been at it for a while. They are blasting through the stretch goals on this Kickstarter. It is well over $100,000 already with time left to go. They have unlocked not 1, not 2, not 3 stretch goals, but 10 stretch goals.
Now, the cool thing about the stretch goals, if you happen to be, into getting PDFs, every stretch goal that they're unlocking, they are adding another PDF from their catalog just into your base pledge. Anything for $15 and over, you're getting access to loads and loads of great material. Highly recommend, if you like collecting PDFs of gaming material, this is a Kickstarter that you just can't miss.
And I will point out, you can get the physical books as well. You get the physical book for this campaign setting and this world. And not only that, Frog God Games is known for these massive tomes. They've literally have bullet tested these tomes, and a bullet was not able to make it all the way through from one cover to the other. So this book may very well save your life. Nerdarchy does not condone or recommend using D&D books or any other kind of books as life-saving devices when it comes to firearms.
Anyway, back to D&D spells. As I said, there's 23 spells spread out amongst all the levels, and we're going to talk about, a small selection of those that we think are literally spells that you can kill with a word.
Or at least make you wish you were dead. Well, so that being said, at 20th level, a wizard can know 25 spells.
If they've maxed out their intelligence.
So you're already practically there. You're not missing much. It's worth pointing out there's a lot of crossover between sorcerer and wizard. With that subtle meta magic, if it is a verbal component and you remove it, there's no components. It's literally you're just doing stuff with your brain.
And that's a great way to, make a psionicist if you want to do it the easy peasy way.
Absolutely. So we're going to jump into it. We're going to grab our handy dandy devices. And we're going to pull up D&D Beyond because it just makes life easy. Why would we not? We're going to look at our top 3 picks for spells that can kill you just with the words, or at least make you wish you were dead. And we have a bonus one as well.
All right, so do we want to start off with Immolation?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, 5th level spell. Casting time is 1 action. Range of 90 feet. Verbal components, as we said. Duration is a minute. It's an evocation. Attack is a dex save. Flames wreathe one creature you can see within range. The target must make a dex save. It takes 8d6 fire damage on a failed save, has half as much one on a successful. On a failed save, the target also burns for the spell's duration. The burning sheds bright light in a 30-foot radius, dim light for an additional 30. At the end of each of its turn, the target repeats the saving throw. It takes an additional 4d6 fire damage on a failed save. Spell ends on a successful one. These magical flames can't be extinguished by non-magical means. If the damage from this spell kills the target is turned to ash.
Yep. Stop, drop, and roll? I don't think so. It also reminds me of the 80s movie Firestarter as well. If you're a sorcerer and use the subtle spell, you're just setting things on fire with your brain.
Yep, just flames going everywhere.
I'll kill you with my brain. Also, 5th level, this spell probably not going to outright kill you, but it might make you do some things you don't want to do and make you wish you were dead, and that is Geese. Casting time is 1 minute, so you're going to need a little prep to get this one off. Range is 60 feet, and it lasts 30 days. You got a wisdom save. You place a magical command on a creature that you can see with range, forcing it to carry out some service or refrain from some action or course of activity as you decide. That's a great way to get people to quit smoking. If the creature can understand you, it must succeed a wisdom saving throw or become charmed by you. For the duration, while the creature is charmed by you, it takes 5d10 psychic damage each time it acts in a manner directly counter to your instructions, but no more than once each day. So technically, it could probably make your brain explode, depending on how many hit points you have. A creature that can't understand you is unaffected by the spell. You can issue any command you choose, short of an activity that would result in certain death. Should you issue a suicidal command, the spell ends. You can end the spell early by using an action to dismiss it. A remove curse, greater restoration, or wish spell also ends it. So, high level magic to get rid of it. At higher levels, you can cast the spell using a spell slot of 7th or 8th level. The duration is 1 year. When you cast the spell using a spell slot of 9th level, the spell lasts until ended by one of the spells mentioned above. Forever, basically.
So, Nerdarchy's got a bit of a history with this spell. In earlier editions, it was, a little bit different. Did not have the minute casting time, or if it did, the DM kind of hand waved that one. And we struggled against the effects of this spell for multiple sessions. So there's a bit of angst with that one.
We did eventually end it by dying.
Yes, the character who was under her keys did walk across a glyph of death and died.
Fixed it. That's how we fixed it. All right, so what is our 3rd spell?
All right, now this one is super crazy. 9th level power word kill. I mean, come on, power word kill. That should just be you say die and they fall over dead.
So metal.
9th level casting time 1 action. Range 60 feet, verbal component, duration instantaneous. It's enchantment. There is no attack. There is no save. You utter a word of power that can compel one creature you can see within range to die instantly. If the creature you choose has 100 hit points or fewer, it dies. Otherwise, the spell has no effect. So, no taking damage, no just, we have to make a save. No, if they've got under 100 hit points, they're just dead.
Pretty much. Plain and simple, easy enough with a word. did. So lastly on our list is, on our wish list is Wish. And the reason why we include this as a bonus spell, not as the actual spell, is because it's a 9th level spell and it encompasses pretty much every spell list there is. 8th level under any spell now becomes verbal. You only need to say it for it to happen. So now the range of spells we could possibly kill you with just our words has greatly increased.
So this spell is, as Dave says, it's going to duplicate any effect, removing any requirements for, other verbal, somatic, or material components. Oh, you've got a costly resource. Nah, we're gonna ignore that. 10,000 gold piece diamond. It takes a month to cast this spell. Nope, it's just you utter a phrase and pff, the effect just goes off. It's amazing, and that's only, the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the spell, because you can do other things and, possibly have, your inability to ever cast the spell again.
Well, yes, if you choose to do something that is not a 8th level spell or lower, but you decide to just make up the wish on the spot, you can absolutely do that, but there's a chance you lose the ability to cast Wish ever again. So I find most wizards are not interested in doing that at all.
If you're using Wish and you've done this other crazy stuff, feel free to share those awesome stories and whether you pass that roll or not down in the comments.
Absolutely. So the question is, what do you think of our list of 3 spells that could kill you with your words for the 5e D&D Wizard? Let us know down in the comments below. While you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
On your way down there, don't forget to stop by the description and check out the link to Frog God's Kickstarter, World of the Lost Lands.
So until next time,
stay nerdy.